Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims proudly presents the opening televised game for Week 15 of the. Uh, as you can see, I still have the recap show banner up, so I will type this in. It's going to be Las Vegas coming in tonight at 7 and 6, taking on Washington, who comes in tonight 8 and 5. This is what happens when you start going before you are ready. And there you go. Las Vegas and Washington. Now the banner is correct. I am Big Paulie. How you doing, folks? Week number 15 in the HTFL getting started. We're getting down to the short strokes. I forgot to mention on the recap show that we have two more teams that have clinched playoff spots. They are Baltimore and Green Bay. With Detroit, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati all losing, the best Chicago could do is 8 and 8, and that means 3 teams out of the 5 left make the playoffs. Well, actually, 2 teams, because Minnesota could wind up tied with Minnesota, could wind up with being tied with Cleveland, in which case Chicago owns both tiebreakers. So we make this addendum for you that we have 3 teams that have now made the playoffs. As I look at the head-to-head between Chicago and Minnesota, yeah, they won Game 1, and they will play again in Game 2 next week, Week 16. So with that being said, we will go on and play our next game, and we might punch somebody else's ticket tonight with Las Vegas playing Washington. You see it again corrected on your board. Las Vegas 7 and 6 and Washington 8 and 5. And Washington, with a win, they put Los Angeles into the playoffs, as it would be impossible mathematically for Las Vegas to win the division. Washington a 3-point favorite in this game. 43 degrees, no precipitation, a wind of 0 to 5 miles per hour. At FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland, I will be controlling Washington. Las Vegas won the toss and will receive. Daryl LaMonica is going to be the quarterback for Las Vegas. John Brody must have gotten hurt in the last game. He is a scratch. Sonny Jurgensen will lead the way for Washington. Let's check out real quick what happened to Mr. John Brody. Actually, no, he could play. I don't understand why he is not playing. Why they have LaMonica in there. So let me erase and autofill the lineups. Brody must have been a last-second scratch. So LaMonica will go in, and he will quarterback Las Vegas. And Washington will be run by Sonny Jurgensen, John Gruden, and Joe Gibbs, the coaches. And let's get this game started. LaMonica will wear number 3, and we'll get to him in a moment. Setting up the Las Vegas offense, Tyler and Colmer at running back, Johnson and Driver at wideout, Ertz at tight end, LaMonica your quarterback, Kennard, Hara, Flanagan, Scabelli, and Dakin are your offensive line. For Washington, Manley, Butts, and Talbert are your linebackers. Your front 4. Hamburger, Slavinsky, and Arrington are the linebackers. And we'll see Slavinsky play offensive line later. Williams and Green, Houston, and Murphy are going to be your defensive backs. And on 1st and 10, let's see what Daryl LaMonica can do. He hasn't seen too much action all year. That's a gain of 4 on a pass to Mickey Colmer. In fact, you see it there. That was the first throw he has had all season. And for some reason, John Brody is a scratch today. Looking at the team record, you saw that Las Vegas must be sky high after the 44-37 win over Los Angeles. They have won 3 in a row after a 34-27 loss to Green Bay. It's going to be 2nd and 6 at the 24. This is Colmer, and he will not gain much, a gain of 2. I am recording this on Sunday night, November 29th. Plaxico Burress comes in as the 3rd wide receiver. He had a big game against LA last week. 3rd and 4 to 26. And Kansas City is beating Tampa Bay in the 2020 real-life NFL 27-17 early in the fourth quarter. And Pat Mahomes having a big day, so I figured, well, I just do a game. Ertz, the intended receiver for LaMonica. Houston all over him. Ken Houston for Washington. And Vegas will punt on 4th and 4. And that punt goes way back. Ray Guy with a 53-yard boomer to the 21. And that's where Washington will set up shop. The offensive line, the offense for Washington will be Davis and Aikens at running back. Bob Seymour sometimes plays fullback. Monk and Clark, your wideouts in the base formation. Cooley at tight end. Jurgensen quarterbacking. Jacoby, Grimm, House, Slavinsky, and Samuels, your offensive line. For Las Vegas, Townsend, Biggs, Kennard, and Cope, your front four. Harvey, Bonacani, and Addison, your linebackers. Asamuga, Dishman, Dewerson, and Ray, your defensive backs. I would expect Washington to throw a considerable deal against Vegas. But Davis gets them off to a good start, a gain of 7. Actually, you can run on their front four because Cope, who wears number 1, Frank Cope, he is only a 7. So if you run it in between the numbers, you're going to do well. It's going to be Aikens on 2nd and 3. He gets the first down, but a marker might have nullified that. Let's see. It did not.
Number 93, 5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty against Townsend of Vegas, and it'll be a first down anyway, so it'll be a declined penalty. 1st and 10 at the 33. We will go trap right, Davis. Remember, if Vegas loses, Los Angeles is the lower West champions. A gain of 13, and Davis off to a good start. His first 2 carries go for 20 yards. We'll go Cooley on the medium out on 1st and 10. And he's got a catch. A gain of 15 against St. Louis last week. Jurgensen had a big day, 396 yards. 32 of 56. 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. A 1st and 10 at the Vegas 39. We'll go back to Aikens on a sweep right. Washington using that counter tray almost, a gain of 1, and it is 2nd and 9. And the guard on the left side did not pull over, so it wasn't a counter tray in the conventional sense. Charlie Taylor, a medium out on 2nd and 9. A penalty, let's check that. The gain was 14 yards if it stands, and it doesn't stand.
10-yard penalty.
Jacoby, a holding penalty. I forgot to check Washington's record, which we will do now. They were 8-1 after 10 weeks, after beating Houston 35-21. They have lost 4 straight. They lost to LA 13-9, to San Francisco 28-6. Carolina beat them 28-23, and St. Louis beat them 30-27. I have a feeling we're going to see Washington and St. Louis play again in the playoffs. The best 4 teams out of each conference makes the playoffs. The 2 divisional winners and the 2 wild cards, and then they play each other. 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3 in the first round. The 2 winners play in round 2, and then we reseed the conference winners, and we put them in the semifinals, and then we will have the first HTFL championship game sometime around mid-January. A 2nd and 19. It's going to be a medium hitch to Charlie Taylor. That's incomplete. Jurgensen had to throw that away. He was under fire in the pocket. So they'll go 4 wide. It'll be Monk, Clark, Taylor, and Sanders, and they will go a medium pass. Try to get the field goal here with Taylor. Maybe he can outrun the coverage. He could not. It was Charlie Taylor on the catch, a gain of 12. Washington kicking into the wind. Only a 32% chance, so on 4th and 7. Eddie LeBaron will just pooch it. Try to put Vegas in the hole. He cannot. It's a touchback. So Vegas takes over. 9:32 left. Opening quarter. We have no score between the Ironmen and the Redskins. We'll eventually name the Vegas team the Raiders, but they have no Las Vegas Raiders yet, because when I started this back in May, the Vegas Raiders had yet to play a game. But we'll probably see some Vegas Raiders come to the fore soon in subsequent seasons. 1st and 10 at the 20. LaMonica, a catch.
Encroachment, defense. Number 16, 5-yard penalty.
I think Las Vegas will decline the penalty and make it 1st and 10 at the 35. First and 10 at the 35. I was looking at Tampa Bay. It looks like they had made an interception on Pat Mahomes. Mahomes had an outstanding day up to this point in the real-life Kansas City-Tampa Bay game. First and 10 at the 35. A marker.
False start. Offense. Number 71, 5-yard penalty.
And what
Repeat first down.
the officiating giveth, the officiating taking away, Sclabelli called for a false start, first and 15 from the 30. This is Mickey Colmer. He's got a nice gain, 7 yards. Talbert on the stop for the Skins. Now remember, when I started this league back in the spring, Washington was still named the Redskins. So if we do a season 2 in the fall of 2021, we will have to figure out what the heck to call them. 2nd and 8 at the 37. Tyler, close to the first down marker. He picked up 7. He needed 8. 3rd and a yard. Dave Parks comes in as a second tight end. This 3rd and 1 play. LaMonica, if you are just tuning in, Tyler got the first down in for John Brody, who was a late scratch. We don't know why, but he just was. So it was 1st and 10 at the 45. And Daryl LaMonica, of course, played on the Oakland Raiders. He's out of Notre Dame. Here's Colmer, gain of 13, but it's coming back.
Number 73, 10-yard penalty.
That was Dyken. Called for the hold, and it's 1st and 20 now for Vegas at their own 35.
False start. Offense. Number 54, 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And as Mr. Scott would say on Star Trek, Las Vegas is going nowhere mighty fast. 1st and 25 at the 30. James Dooham. I met him once in 1991 in Orlando. Nice man. Wendell Tyler tripped up by Green. A gain of 6, and it's 2nd and 19 at the 36. I went for the weekend right before Christmas to the Disney MGM theme park. Stayed at Disney World one day. I stayed at Epcot the second, and I went to Disney MGM the third, and that's how I met James Doohan. Very nice man. Third 19 at the 36, so that's one of your stories for today. Incomplete. Looking for Ertz, and Vegas will punt. Here's Ray Guy again, Hall of Fame punter. And he backed up whoever the punt returner was. It's not mentioned in the legend here. A punt of 51 yards. I think that is Signs. And Washington takes over at the 13. No score. Davis, a trap left, blows right by Frank Cope for a gain of 3. Ruser Kennard on the tackle. Kennard played for Brooklyn, and the New York HTFL team, the Giants, overlooked him, so I think in the offseason they might not overlook him again. A trap left Stephen Davis, because he's a two-way threat. He's a very good offensive tackle and a good defensive tackle. Davis picks up 5, Kennard on the tackle, speak of the devil. 3rd and 2. We will go medium pass. Play action to Art Monk. And Monk was open for a moment. He was open at the moment of a catch. And that's a gain of 19 with a minute 11. 4:11, I'm sorry. I'm looking at my monitor here on the other screen. I do this on 2 screens, and sometimes I look at the OBS and I'm not looking at the game screen. So my apologies for that. 1st and 10 at the 40. We're going to go trap it right with Stephen Davis. He finds a hole. He picks up 7 yards. Seems to be the lucky number tonight. And you could see the orange boxes where it says trap left and trap right. You're calling too many traps. Akins on a stretch play, 2nd and 3. And that's a gain of 7 and a first down. Rushing the ball so far as a team, Washington has 8 carries and 48 yards, 6 yards a carry. Long fly to Monk, 1st and 10 from the 46 of Vegas. There it goes. He's got it. Pickup of 28. Los Angeles last week, they put up 37 on Vegas, so Vegas can be scored upon. And it's 1st and 10 at the 18. A sweep left. Davis looking for real estate, and he finds 5 more yards. And it is now 2nd and 5 at the 13. Double tight end set. They're going to put Davis off tackle right. He cannot find a hole, 1 yard loss.
Holding, offense,
And to make
number
matters
16,
worse,
10-yard
you hear it
penalty.
there, a holding penalty against Slavinsky. So that's going to back up Washington 10. It's going to be 2nd and 15. We will screen it to Akins, a blitz coming. And Akins with a nice grab. He picks up 9 of the 15 yards back. 3rd and 6. That'll do it for the first quarter. No score. Vegas 42 yards on 10 plays. Washington 15 for 136. On a 3rd and 6, they'll go 3 wide. Put the receiver in motion, go medium pass. We'll look for Gary Clark. And a touchdown to Clark. And Washington draws first blood. At 6-0, your extra point try by Schweisom is going to be good. And it's 7-0 in favor of Washington. 14:51 left in the second period. We have Kaufman, Prokop, and Perkins back deep. And that is a touchback. 1st and 10 at the 20 for Vegas. Again, LaMonica starting in favor of Brody. A gain of 8 yards. We do not know what's wrong with John Brody, so stop calling the network. Stop calling their switchboard. Let them get on with their lives. 2nd and 2 at the 28. I imagine that's what network execs were saying during the Heidi game in 1968 that was played between Oakland and the Jets, which the last 2 minutes of the game was not shown on television except on the West Coast because NBC decided to go to a movie called Heidi. 1st and 10 at the 32. That was 52 years ago. A throw incomplete. LaMonica was looking for Driver. LaMonica, of course, was known as the Mad Bomber when he played. 2nd and 10 now from the 32. Got a whole bunch of good games for you this week. Baltimore and New England will be next. Baltimore has now clinched a playoff spot, as I was mentioning in the open. Arrington hurt. LeVar Arrington. An undisclosed injury, so it's just Hamburger and Slavinsky in a 4-2-5 defense right now. A nickel for the Skins. 3rd and 2. LaMonica to the sidelines. He finds Ertz, who had a big day last week. Pickup of 9 yards. Ertz, you see him there, 64 catches for 870 and 9 touchdowns. So he has done quite a job with this Vegas Ironmen team. 1st and 10 at the 49. LaMonica in trouble and sacked by Slavinsky, and that's a loss of 6. 2nd and 16 at the 43. While the Kansas City-Tampa Bay game goes on. It's now 3rd and 16 on that incomplete pass. LaMonica was throwing to Keyshawn Johnson. Now that's a combination you would only find in the HTFL, LaMonica to Keyshawn. 3rd and 16 at the 43. It's LaMonica. It's underneath to Wendell Tyler, a gain of 10. And no ventriloquist named Lester around. Those of you old enough to remember the duo of Willie Tyler and Lester. 4th and 6 at the 47. I will watch for the fake punt. Up 7-0. Thought Vegas might try a little trickeration. The Ray Guy punt goes to the 15, 32 yards. Washington leading 7-0 with 10:05 left in the half. And we're going to go off tackle left, Stephen Davis. Vegas was playing bunched in, expecting the run, but it still was a 6-yard gain for Stephen Davis. On the day, he has 7 for 46. Monk, slant route. 2nd down. That's a catch. And Art Monk with a gain of 10. He now has 3 catches on the day for 57. They go to a base formation. Akins, screen pass, 1st and 10. They're not afraid to throw to him out of the backfield, but he bobbled it. So Akins is still stuck on 1 for 9 on the day. Jurgensen off to a good start. He's 7 for 9, 107 yards and a touchdown. Medium out, Art Monk, 2nd and 10. He's got it. Monk, a gain of 16. Akins is now out and won't return. So Bob Seymour will enter the game. Played for the Redskins out of the University of Oklahoma back in the 40s. 1st and 10 at the 47. Sweep to Davis. And Davis, no gain. Back to the line, and that is it. We'll go off tackle right to Seymour, hoping they see more yardage out of him, and that's a gain of 2. 3rd and 8, they'll go 3 wide. They'll look to Charlie Taylor, medium slant route. A marker down, catch is made.
Encroachment defense, number 1, 5-yard penalty.
Got to take the penalty on Frank Cope, and it's now 3rd and 3 to get another shot at it. We're going to screen it to Davis, 3rd and 3 at the Vegas 46. He's got it. And Jurgensen now 9 of 11. Gain of 6 yards there, 129 and a touchdown. We'll look to Cooley on the hitch. 47's his number. He's got that. And it's an 11-yard gain. Jurgensen now 10 of 12, 140 yards. Fly to Clark, looking for his 2nd touchdown of the day if they throw it to him, but not to be as he's caught. At the 11-yard line, a gain of 18. Jurgensen now 11 out of 13, so you stay with him. You stay with the hot hand here. Medium cross to Cooley. He's wearing 47. That is incomplete, so finally an incompletion. Monk, medium slant on 2nd and 10. Surely you can't throw 2 incompletions in a row. That's to Seymour, and Seymour sees more. A touchdown. And Jurgensen, 12 of 15 now. He is red hot. Extra point try by Schwesum. Good. And the Redskins have jumped out to a 14-0 lead on the Ironmen with 4:20 left to go. Somebody light up in the first half. Kaufman, Prokop, and Perkins again back deep. And again, I wasted my time telling you the return men because this is a touchback. 1st and 10 at the 20. Let's see what LaMonica can do. LaMonica has started 5 out of 10 with that 11-yard gain to Donald Driver. Williams on the stop. 1st and 10 now at the 31. LaMonica over the middle. A nice catch by Ertz. A gain of 21 yards. And Ken Houston has now reached 100 tackles on the season. That's the first time I've seen that message. 1st and 10 at the 48 of Washington. So we know Vegas can throw it.
Holding offense, number 44, 10-yard penalty.
Oh, they get Bruiser Kennard for a holding. 1st and 20 now for Vegas on their other side of the field at the 42, the Vegas side of the field. Quick throw to Burris, a little look in, and that's a gain of 10. I do not want to aid the Ironmen by calling a timeout. 2nd and 10. Ball at the Washington 48 now. Burris, another nice grab, a gain of 21. 1st and 10 at the 27. The clock rolling, 2:22 left to go in the first half. That's over the head of Wendell Tyler and incomplete. And in the game going on right now, it looks like Tampa Bay has been getting close to the goal line. They trail 27-17 with 4.5 to go. That's in real life 2020 for 2nd and 10 at the 27. Burris gets loose again. Pickup of 13. 1st and 10 at the 14. The give to Colmer. Colmer, a 2-yard loss. Making for 2nd and 12 now. LaMonica. Tyler. And that's a gain of 3. And a touchdown for Tampa Bay. Okay. 3rd and 9 at the 13. There's a marker down on that play in the real-life game. Incomplete. Field goal try for Stover from 30 yards out is good. 14-3 now. The touchdown for Tampa Bay stood, so they have cut it to either 4 points or 3 points with a little over 4 minutes to go. That's what's happening in real time. In this game, it's 14-3. There's a minute 19 left. Here's the kickoff. It was returned by James, 25 yards to the 25. Each team has timeouts left. Washington has 3, and the Ironmen have 2. Out to Gary Clark, medium. Here's his throw. That's incomplete. And it's going to be Charlie Taylor on the hitch. Might as well just throw it. We've been having such good luck against the passing game. Tampa Bay converted their touchdown, so it's 27-24. I'm going to call a timeout in this game. 58 seconds left. 2 timeouts left for the Skins. We're going to go over the middle to Charlie Taylor again. Instead, it's a dump off to Davis, who gains 11. I'll bang another timeout with 48 to go. Now we got to go to the sidelines. Charlie Taylor, a medium out. Incomplete, but a marker.
Pass interference, defense. Number 22, automatic, first down.
That was against Dave Dewerson, Chicago Bear, who did not make the Chicago HTFL team because Chicago is a mix of the Cardinals and the Bears. So that's now going to set up 1st and 10 at the 35. We're going to go medium fly, and we're going to look to Taylor. I'm going to keep throwing the Charlie Taylor. That's caught. Taylor to the 10, to the 5, and book it. 6 points. Jurgensen having a big day against this Vegas defense. 15 of 19, 230 yards, 3 touchdowns. The point after try will be good by Schwiesom, 21-3 with 33 seconds left to go. I will kick deep. It was a good call because that was a touchback. See what happens here for Las Vegas. 1st and 10. 2 timeouts for them left. Gain of 3. I'm going to call my last timeout with 25 seconds because you never know what's going to happen. We're just going to throw caution to the wind and call a timeout. 2nd and 7 at the 23. Vegas has 2 timeouts left. Colmer gains 2. I cannot stop the clock, so we might go to halftime, and we do. The score at halftime, Washington 21 and the Ironmen 3. And I will be right back, folks, so stand by. And we're back, ready to start the 3rd quarter of play, 21-3. Redskins all over the Ironmen at this point. I will receive to start the 2nd half. Washington has run 31 plays, 291 yards. Vegas 28 for a $157. James, Signs, and Williams back deep. And I'm going to return it. Washington showing no fear to this Vegas offense. Vegas is a combination of all the players that did not make the rosters of their designated teams. So for instance, let's take Dave Dewerson. Dewerson didn't make Chicago, but he did make the Las Vegas team. Darryl O'Monica did not make the San Francisco team, which was loaded with quarterbacks, so he's on this Las Vegas team. John Brody, same thing. 1st and 10. Trap right, Stephen Davis. Blitz coming, so we're going to turn it into a screen to Seymour on 1st and 10. He wears 82. He got the pass. He's at the 30. He's at the 40. He picks up 18 yards. And Jurgensen, 16 of 20. He stays red hot. We're going to go back to Davis. We're going to pitch it to the right side. And Davis, close to the 1st. He picks up 8 more. Setting up now. 2nd and 2 at the 49. Double tight end set for Davis on a dive. That's a gain of 4. Setting up 1st and 10 at the 47. Davis. Pitch left. Just to throw Las Vegas a little off, but that's for no gain. 2nd and 10. They'll go 3 wide. They'll go to Clark on the medium crossing route. He's open. He's got the catch. A gain of 22. Dick Lynch on the stop. And Jurgensen now 17 of 21. He is having a big day. Screen to Davis. 1st and 10 at the 25. Good spot for the screen. And Davis past the 15 to the 11. Another 14-yard pickup. And Sonny Jurgensen proving he could hang with the modern era quarterbacks. He's now 18 of 22 for 284 and 3 touchdowns. Off tackle right Davis, 1st and 10 at the 11. He finds a nice little crease and gains 6. So it's 1st and goal at the 5. Seymour, dive play in the double tight end set. He moves closer to the goal line. He's down at the 1. Washington could get the 1st down without scoring. And let's see what they do here. 1st and goal at the 1. Sonny looks like he is going to keep it, and he's going to try to sneak it in over the middle. He's got it. Touchdown, Redskins. Of course, the Redskins in a dogfight with St. Louis for the Lower East title. We will see St. Louis on Friday night against Cleveland. Your point after try, the Monday night game, technically, it's good. And Los Angeles looking like they have a playoff spot. Although we still have a lot of time left, 9-10 left in the 3rd, it's 28-3. If Las Vegas loses, Los Angeles will clinch the Lower West Division. A touchback on the kickoff, 1st and 10 at the 20, and I think you're going to see Vegas doing a lot of throwing, but they don't do it there. Tyler on the give, no gain. Butts makes the tackle. And it is 2nd and 10 at the 20. A throw, an incompletion. LaMonica was checking down to Mickey Colmer. That sets up 3rd and 10 at the 20. Screen. Tyler, a lot of room. All the way to the 39. He picked up 19 yards. If you're wondering about LaMonica, he's 11 of 19, 136 yards. 1st and 10 at the 39. To Colmer. Turned the corner, but a marker.
Holding, offense, number 44, 10-yard penalty.
Bruiser Kennard picks up the penalty. He has picked up a few today. 1st and 10 of 29. It's usually not a good sign when your best lineman's picking up penalties left and right. That's a nice grab by Donald Driver. Gain of 20. I will not challenge the spot because I only had less than a 50-50 chance of getting it. 1st and 10 at the 49. Pitch to Colmer. Mickey Colmer. No gain. If you're wondering about Colmer's stats, here they are. 397 yards. He played for Brooklyn in 1947, the Brooklyn Dodgers of the AAFC, I would imagine. He also has 21 catches out of the backfield for 209 yards. 4 touchdowns he has had. 2nd and 10 at the 49. So he could be another guy heading to New York if New York should want him. No penalty. As Johnson, that went right through his hands. 3rd and 10 at the 49. Keyshawn Johnson, I'm assuming. To Driver, incomplete. And Ray Guy comes on the punt. 4th and 10 from the 49. I think this will be a legit punt. It goes to the sideline. And it goes out of bounds at the 10. 20, I'm sorry. The Signs was stationed inside his own 10, but the punt, a rare miss by Guy. It only goes 31 yards. So Washington sets up 1st and 10 at the 20. We're going for the kill shot here. Play action bomb to Clark. There it goes. Can Clark get it? He can. A nice grab. 53 yards. And Jurgensen now over 300 on the day with 5:22. Much like Pat Mahomes is doing in real life right now to the Buccaneers, where he had 300 yards before halftime. 28-3 in this game. Trap right, Stephen Davis. And Davis, a nice gain, 12 yards. That moves it to the Vegas 15, and we'll go for the quick strike and go medium cross to Cooley. Instead it goes to Clark, and Clark's got another touchdown, his third of the day. And this has become a massacre. 34-3, extra point. Good by Schwesum, 35-3. And Las Vegas looking like they will be making the playoffs if the results hold with 3:59 left in the third quarter. Another touchback. The Washington kick team doing an excellent job so far. Touchback after touchback after touchback. First and 10 at the 20 for Vegas. They're down 32. Colmer with his second drop of the day. He also plays linebacker. Second and 10 at the 20. A throw, a catch to Keyshawn, but it does not stand.
Number 44, 10-yard penalty.
Kennard again called for the hold. He's 44 up top, on top, the left tackle, I guess you could call him. Second and 20 at the 10. Oh, and Tyler, a 3-yard loss. They got him dead to rights in the backfield. It's third and 23 at the 7.
False start. Offense, number 44. Repeat, third down.
Kennard again with the holding. It's now third and a cab ride to Chevy Chase for Las Vegas at the 3. Yes, there's a city called Chevy Chase, Maryland. Not named after the actor, I don't think. That's incomplete. I'm Chevy Chase and you're not. 4th and 27. Vegas will punt. And this is caught by Signs, who gained 6 on the return. The punt went 46, so the net was for 40 yards. And I'm watching a key third down play for Kansas City, which they get, and I think Kansas City is going to win over Tampa Bay, as a dejected Tom Brady looks on. First and 10 at the 43. The computer call a play by accident. It's Davis, and it's short of a first down by a few inches. So it's going to be second and inches at the 33. I think, being a Buccaneer fan and being a local, I think the Bucs made a big mistake getting Tom Brady. I'll tell you why. They didn't get anybody who could play defense. Gain of 2. They spent a lot of money on their offense, but they didn't spend a dime on their defense, which was not good in 2019. So I kind of figured that the Bucs might fold in the playoffs down the stretch, and they are now 7-5 as they have lost to Kansas City 27-24. Kansas City is the real deal. Even though they are 9-1 and Pittsburgh's 10-0, I have a feeling that Kansas City will be the team to beat until Pittsburgh plays them, probably in the AFC Championship. Computer called another play. I'm sorry, folks. Seymour loses 4. Second and 14. They'll go screen to Davis. Minute 22 left. That falls incomplete and over the target. A third and 14 now. And you wonder if you are Washington, when you put the reserves in. Charlie Taylor on the fly, 3rd and 14. Incomplete. They'll bring Schwesum in to try a 52-yarder. Dead, solid, perfect. But that's how Washington's luck has been running all day. They're up 38-3. Washington to kick off. Will it be another touchback? It will be. We have 29 seconds left in the third quarter. A 1st and 10 at the 20. Of course, in real life, Vegas is a playoff team now, although they just got hammered today by Atlanta, 43-6. Butts called for an offsides. 1st and 5 at the 25 now for Las Vegas. Might be a long fourth quarter because I'm sure Vegas will play for pride and play well. 2nd and 5 at the 25 after that incompletion. That's to Burris. Picks up 15. Burris was double-teamed. LaMonica now 13-26, 171 yards. Burris 4 catches for 59. That's the end of the third quarter. We have 1 quarter left. It is 38-3 Washington. Johnny Garner and Carroll Dale will come into the game. Dale will be a fourth wide receiver, and Garner provides a little more speed out of the backfield. LaMonica to Burris. That'll be a first. I will challenge the spot because I got a 95% chance of overturning it.
Upon further review, the runner was stopped short of the first down. No timeout will be charged.
Instead of a first down, it is 2nd and inches, so I just might have been rendering this academic. But you never know. First down as Charlie Gardner gets the run. That was his first run of the day. No yards. Just got enough for the first, though. 1st and 10 at midfield. And that is...
holding offense number 44, 10-yard penalty.
a loss of 4 by Gardner, so I'm going to decline the penalty. Make it 2nd and 14. The throw, incomplete, but a marker. Pass interference, yes.
Defense, number 28, automatic, first down.
Green, Darrell Green with the pass interference. 1st and 10 for Vegas at the Washington 28. They're down 35 now. That's to Gardner. Gardner to the 20. Gardner close to the 10. In fact, he is stopped at the 11. The gain was for 18 yards. 1st and goal at the 11. I was talking last week about the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game in real life. That was supposed to be played Thanksgiving night. It was canceled. Then they thought they would play it today. That got canceled, and now they're going to try to play it Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. 2nd and 10 at the 11. The league, a lot of people on social media were lobbying for Pittsburgh to win by forfeit. 3rd and 10 at the 11. I would not have been in favor of that. Having players, that's a touchdown, Gardner, and it's 38-9. I'll complete my commentary after the extra point. I think if you wanted to make an argument, Stover's extra point was good, 38-10, to forfeit a game, the best argument that you could make was the Deflategate game a few years ago where New England used deflated footballs and defeated Indianapolis. They were probably going to beat Indianapolis regardless, but I think you make a better argument to forfeit a game, force a forfeit of a game there than you do when Baltimore players do not follow, and coaches and staff do not follow COVID restrictions. Watch for the onside kick here, and I was wise to do so because that's what they tried, and Dowda recovered it at the 41. And I am going to give Jurgensen the rest of the day off, and I am going to replace him with Slingin' Sammy Baugh. He will come in the game. He'll wear 33. A trap right, Stephen Davis on 1st and 10. Gain of 2. 2nd and 8. I personally think that if a team does something to their own detriment, they should not forfeit the games because they have already done something that's not going to help them win by having players test positive for COVID. I think it's ridiculous when a team has already hurt itself to hurt them more by forcing them to forfeit. Art Monk. Here in Florida, a gain of 9. Monk received that pass from Baugh. Ray is now out of the game. Asamuga, his 10th tackle. Ray will be replaced by Mike Brown of the Chicago Bears, 2003. Here in Florida, there were some teams, Dive, Stephen Davis, that advanced in the high school playoffs because players on the opposing team had COVID. For instance, my alma mater of Largo High beat Deltona in the first round of the playoffs, not because they were the better team, but because the Deltona players, or some of them, or enough of them, caught COVID. Medium out to somebody. Incomplete. That was the Cooley. A 3rd and 10, and I'm going to look to Gary Clark on a medium fly route. His throw, incomplete.
Holding, offense, number 66, 10-yard penalty.
Jacoby picked up the hold. It's going to be 4th and 10 at the 48. We'll punt Eddie LeBaron. In that situation, yes, I could understand why because you only have a finite time to play the game, whereas the NFL could have theoretically moved the Baltimore Pittsburgh game to late in the year. A fumble recovered by LaMonica. LaMonica had the ball go over his head, and LaMonica got to it before anybody else did. 2nd and 20 at the 4. It's 38-10, Washington. But the league has been talking about perhaps shortening the time span of the playoffs, getting rid of the bye between the conference championships and the Super Bowl, and playing straight through. Only a 1-week gap between the conference championships and the Super Bowl, which I always thought made for better games. 3rd and 20 at the 4. And they could use that last week of the season in case there were more COVID cases and if there were more teams that needed time off. Burris from LaMonica gains 16. It's punting time. I don't think Rega is not going to punt here. What do you have to gain? Down 28. Signs with a catch, a 3-yard return. It goes to the 43. So it's 38-10. We're just going to keep it on the ground and not do anything fancy. Seymour gained 5. Joe Jacoby out for the game. He was the left tackle, so Williams now comes in. Trent Williams out of Oklahoma. You see him there. A 2nd and 5 at Washington's own 45. Off tackle right. And that looked like a busted play. A fumble. Ball got it back. Ball could not find the snap. And he got it back, and there was only a loss of 2. 3rd and 7. We will go full house. And we're going to run a triple option. And we're going to go triple option to Davis. I'm sure Sammy Ball could handle that, but nope, a gain of 2. Townsend with the tackle. 4th and 5, and Eddie LeBaron will punt. Redskins leading 38-10. That is fair caught by Parker at the 9. The punt went 46 yards. It's 1st and 10 for Vegas, 7:49 to go. LaMonica, screen to Gardner. He gains 8 yards. 2nd and 2 at the 17. Right through his hands. I don't want to see in the NFL teams losing by forfeit because of COVID. I really don't think that adds to the situation at all. And that's my commentary on that. 3 drops on the day for Donald Driver. 3rd and 2. Screen incomplete. A 4th and 2.
False start. Offense.
It's now going to be 4th and 7 with Dyken getting called for a false start. And here we go. Don't think they would fake punt here. Signs, a nice return. But something happened on that play. Probably a fumble and a recovery by Las Vegas. That's exactly what happened. Kennard recovered a fumble. Signs was drilled by Asamuga. And now you got a 1st and 10 at the 45 for Vegas. 6:28 to go. LaMonica, who has not had a good day, he throws. Incomplete. 18 for 37 he is. 234 yards and a touchdown. 2nd and 10 at the 45. Here's your throw. That's the Donald Driver. 40-30. Inside the 20 to the 19. A gain of 36. A 1st and 10 at the 19. Garner's dropped at the line. A 1-yard loss. 2nd and 11. So they're probably uncorking the champagne wherever the Los Angeles Rams are. And it's 1st and goal at the 6. They will make the playoffs. They'll be the 4th team to make the playoffs. We have had 6 teams eliminated. So we have 12 spots available at the end of this game for 22 teams. 2nd and goal. Ball to 6. That's going to be a touchdown to Donald Driver, and it's 38-16. Here's your point after try. Good, I would think, yes, by Stover. I stuck my neck out on that. So it's 38-17. We have 3:45 left. I'll watch for the onside kick again. They kick deep, which surprises me. And Signs caught it at the 12, returned it 15 yards to the 27. We have 3:35 to go. Seymour dive. I'm not going to do anything fancy here. Gain of 1 yard.
Offense, number 68, 10-yard penalty.
And that's Grimm, Russ Grimm, making it 1st and 20. We'll trap right side. Still don't want to do anything big. No gain. Harvey limping off and is out for the game. He's the left outside linebacker, so Hazeltine comes in from San Francisco, played there in 62 and thereabouts. 2nd and 20. Seymour off tackle right. A gain of 1 yard. 3rd and 19. We're going to give it to Baugh, and he'll try to sweep it left. And he gained 4 yards. And with Vegas not calling a timeout, I'm going to take it to the 2-minute warning. 38-17. LeBaron will punt. He's punting into the wind. The punt returner, Parker, came up a little bit, but you hear it there. Bonacani called for an illegal block. Might be sought after by both Miami and Boston in the offseason. 1st and 10 at the 27. He played for both teams. A throw by LaMonica to Charlie Gardner, and Gardner's going to get out of bounds after a hefty gain of 39. And LaMonica, in his first HTFL start, is at 329 on the day, but he's 22 out of 42. A lot of missed opportunities on his ledger. 1st and 10 at the 34 of Washington. Off of Keyshawn, incomplete. 2 drops for him today. 2nd and 10 at the 34. A screen to Burris, yes. He'll have the first down. He's dodging, he's weaving, and he gets out of bounds at the 15. His 7th catch for 104 yards. 1st and 10 at the 15. This is Keyshawn, a touchdown. And it's 38-23. Point after try is good, and Vegas not going away. It is 38-24. A minute 14 to go. So unless Vegas goes all Plano East of 1994 on us, Washington should still be fine. I'll watch for the onside kick. I've mentioned that game on here before, the John Tyler Plano East high school football game where Plano East recovers a bunch of onside kicks and gets 4 touchdowns in like a 3-minute span. You ever watch that? If you ever see that game on YouTube, John Tyler, Plano East, 1994, go check it out. It'll be worth your time. Trust me. Off tackle right, Stephen Davis, a marker before the play.
False start. Offense, number 60, 5-yard penalty.
My bottle hit my mic. Sorry about that. Samuels. Davis, trap left. Vegas needs something big to happen. A loss of 1 yard. And is Vegas giving up? Sure seems that way. In that case, Baugh will take a knee. With 19 seconds to go, that'll do it. And Vegas gives up. They could have used their 3 timeouts. They chose not to. And Washington has won 38-24. My guess, as I try to find the cap to my water bottle here, is that Sonny Jurgensen won player of the game. Let's see if I am right. The answer is yes. That's exactly what happened. Vegas made it look cosmetically a close game, but it was over. By the end of the 3rd quarter, it was 38-3 in favor of Washington. And Vegas got 3 touchdowns in the 4th quarter to make it look close. Vegas did score on every trip to the red zone, as did Washington. Vegas 385 yards, Washington 475. Washington had a better time of possession, 17 penalties. Vegas ran 63 plays, and Washington ran 61 plays, and Washington out first downed Las Vegas 28-21. Jurgensen had a 157.9 passing rating, 20 of 26, 352, 4 touchdowns, no picks, 3 plays over 25. The leading rusher was Davis, 20 of 91 for Washington. Burris had 7 grabs for 104, but Gary Clark had the most yardage, 122 on 5 catches. And the best defender of the game, or the leading tackler, was Asamuga, 11 for Las Vegas, who could still win the wild card at 7-7. They are behind Denver at 8-6, and Seattle is also 7-7. San Diego is also 7-7. So the chase for that 4 seed is not over yet, but Los Angeles is now the 4th team to enter the HTFL playoffs. It's now mathematically impossible that either Las Vegas or San Diego can catch them. Washington is at 9-5. St. Louis will play later. If Washington and St. Louis wind up tied, they split their season games. St. Louis won the most recent game, Washington winning week 1. And if you'll permit me a moment, in the lower east, Washington is leading on division record at the moment. And that could change too with one last round of divisional games next week. Washington is 3-2. St. Louis is 2-3 in the division. So if St. Louis wins and Washington loses the next game, assuming St. Louis beats Cleveland, which could not happen. Well, anyway, we'll get into all the permutations as the weeks progress. Here are the 4 games left this week. There they are. Baltimore, New England. We'll try to get these games to you at 7:30. New York and Green Bay, Minnesota, San Francisco, St. Louis, and Cleveland, and then we get to Week 16, and I haven't decided what games I'm going to do in Week 16 yet. Give me a break, it's only Monday. Or actually, as I record this, it's only Sunday. So I hope you enjoyed these last 57 minutes and change. This has been Big Paulie coming to you. We wish you well, no matter where you are, and no matter when you see this. Godspeed, God bless. We'll do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.